Hi guys, today I'm showing you a very creative technique which allows you to blend two colors smoothly and effortlessly. The brushes I'm using are from DaVinci and Black Velvet. For efficiency, I'm going to use two DaVinci brushes today. Each brush loaded with different colors, so I can quickly switch from one color to another without getting any color contamination. Black Velvet will be for loading clean water to paint petals. So firstly, I'm loading color to each DaVinci brush. I'm going to paint a roundish flower center using both colors. And first dabbing the blue paint and then putting the purple next to it. If you find the shape doesn't look like a perfect dot, that's fine. We should start painting the petals immediately after the dot is done, as we don't want the center to get too dry, making it difficult to move the paint around. Now I'm dragging the first petal. I'm going to use a round brush from Black Velvet. I definitely recommend using a brush with a fine point at the tip. I'm now loading some clean water to this brush without any paint, and I'm extending the petals out like this. We can slowly turn the paper around to find the most comfortable position for us to paint. As we drag out each petal, we'll see a different mix of two center colors on the petals, which will give us a nice, varied, and predictable but smooth gradient effect. As we are painting lots of petals for each flower, the amount of paint on the petals could become less and less as we go. This helps to create variety and a natural look. We can use a clean dry brush to soften some petals if the colors are too much on the petals, but avoid using a watery brush as that will create unwanted backgrounds which may ruin the flower. I'm repeating the same steps now for the second flower. As you paint more and more flowers, you start to become very comfortable with forming the flower centers using the two colors. There's no strict rule when it comes to deciding where you should extend the petal first. However, what I like to do is to drag the first two petals from somewhere near the boundaries of these two colors. So in this way, I can paint with some gradient before either color ends up getting too dry to do so. As you can see in this first painting, I'm using two adjacent colors for a start. The mixture of the two tones are not extremely distinctive. Instead, the flower will show some blue, purple, and bluish purple color for each petals. You probably will have a feeling that the flowers have smooth and subtle gradients. Also, if you find these two cool colors are looking a bit samey after you've done a few flowers, you could also add a warm tone to the rest of the flowers to balance the painting. I'm going to paint a pinkish flower with purple. The ratio of each color you use for the center dot is flexible. We can use one color more than the other or just dab the color to see how it goes. Let's be careful with the edges and try not to paint too heavily here, as we don't want to damage the edge of the painting on paper. I'm now painting the other flower along the edge of the paper so you can see it again. It can still look natural as long as we paint gently and avoid brushing back and forth. If you want some texture before the whole flower petals dry, you can use a brush loaded with a very little amount of water and dab it at the center. If there's one petal still wet, you can see the background effect. But you don't have to do this, as this is just something I decided to experiment with all of a sudden during recording. Now I'm connecting these flowers loosely with some creative curvy lines. I'm using a liner brush from DaVinci, and if you're using a very fine brush like this, do you remember to reload some paint to keep the same consistency for a natural line? We need to do this because a fine brush like this cannot hold much liquid compared to your regular sized brush, and once the brush gets too dry, you will not be able to achieve this fine and thin line outcome. If you find this a bit hard to control, that's totally normal. Painting fine lines can just take some practice. And it's not difficult, but it might feel a bit tricky at first. The more you paint, the easier it will feel. I'm now adding some decorative elements using the remaining paint on the brush. I'm adding some white ink dots to the center of the flower for a little highlight. If you have loaded white ink to your brush, it's better to clean it immediately after use, as the white ink will become hard to wash off, which might harm your brush bristles. I'm not adding too much white ink here, just enough to create a subtle highlight in case it starts to look a bit rigid. For the second painting, I'm using green and red colors for the flowers. The colors I'm using are bamboo green and permanent red dip from Magello. I'm repeating the same steps now. I've loaded each color onto the brushes. If you're painting with a variety of colors like I'm doing today, remember to wash the brush thoroughly when changing colors for the next painting. This is especially important when the new colors you're using are very different compared to the previous ones. Some paint may stain your brush, which could contaminate your next color. This is a pair of contrasting colors and a combination that you probably don't often see blended in one flower. In this painting, I'll slightly alter the shape and numbers of petals on each flower. When working with these strong contrasting colors, I suggest washing the brush each time when we extend the petals, or at least washing your brush more frequently than when using adjacent colors like in the first painting, just in case the mixture starts getting a bit muddy on the brush. Also, remember to blot off any excess water with a napkin, as the brush will naturally hold a lot of water after washing. This is a much bolder choice of colors compared to the first example. The boldness gives us a surreal and energetic vibe. In this painting, I like to keep at least one petal in a clean, pure color with minimal mixing. For example, if I'm painting 5 petals, I'll usually do one in a clear green and another in red. The rest of the petals can have varying amounts of the two colors mixed together. This way, the flower doesn't look too uniform, and the strong contrast still remains. For the third example, I'm using yellow and blue. This color combination can create many consistent yellow, green, and blue hues. In the third painting, I created more diluted flower petals compared to the second one. Changing the thickness of the petal is simple. Even though the colors I used in the flower center are quite thick, we can still adjust them however we like by extending them with more or less paint to form the petals. This way, the final result can have different levels of intensity. This contrast makes the painting process more varied and fun, and lets each of us create different results. As we can see, each of the petals turn out different in color, and it looks like a range of smooth gradients in the flower shape. I'm loading the two half round dots for each color on the paper, and then I'm using clean water brush to extend the petals out, starting from around where the two colors meet in the roundish center. As I mentioned earlier, when working with strong colors or bold, contrasting combinations, it's better to wash your brush more frequently to avoid muddiness. However, the petals I'm painting now are very diluted, so I don't need to rinse the brush as often while extending them. That said, it also depends on your painting and color choices. If you feel the colors of the petals are too light, you can choose not to wash the brush until you finish extending all the petals of one flower. One difference between the third painting and the previous two is the center dots. In this painting, the center is made of a very light and a very dark color. Because of that, we need to be extra careful not to let the yellow get contaminated by the blue before extending the petals. At the same time, we should try to keep a bit more blue than yellow, just in case the flower turns out too faint to show clearly on the paper. If you find it challenging to paint fine lines, I'm using a roller ball pen to draw the stems, which is also fine. You can choose whatever you want, depending on what you find most comfortable. This color combination could be easier compared to a very contrasting color pair. However, it also depends on the choice of paints as well. So if you're going to choose your own paint, you could start off with transparent and bright color pairs, rather than choosing two colors that are both dull and heavy for the same flower.